And they did that, man. Some of these are disturbing, like, people being eaten alive by these beetles, these man-eating beetles or scarabs in here. I like the way they just ate and ran. Well, on to the next.
Yeah,
I never noticed he died with a goofy laugh.
Oh, it tickled, man. I never noticed that. Stop! Y'all, when you think of the classic Universal monsters, you're usually thinking of Drac, old Frankie Boy, and the Wolfman. Those are your top three right there.
They are. They all got cereals and everything.
Yeah, and then there's the Mummy. Now,
who eventually got a cereal?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, listen, he's never really included in the top three. Everybody, we're talking about our boys right here, but everybody. Now, no one really is saying that they're a Mummy fan, Now, he might be before the Creature of the Black Lagoon or something like that.
Yeah.
He get no love. He ain't got a cereal. He ain't got no fish sticks. He never got a promotion at Long John Silver's. He never had a special meal at Long John Silver's, the Black Lagoon lunch or something. He never got no love. So, at least your boy got some Yummy Mummy cereal.
Right.
Which nobody eats, by the way.
Yeah, nobody eats that one.
No, this one comes back once a year, just because.
Is that
contractual
what
obligation.
Like?
Yeah, that's what it looks like now.
Not originally.
No.
They did a big redesign.
Yeah, but no, I don't even know nobody that eats Yummy Mummy cereal. So what is it about the Mummy, man, that the reason why he's still around? Well, I think the reason why is because the Mummy is one of the most successful Universal monsters. And I think that is due to his versatility. They do a lot of things. They do a lot of reimagining with the trio right here, the OG crew. But the Mummy really does have a lot of things that you can do with him. Some cases her. You got the original Mummy, the Boris Karloff Mummy right there. The dude that is wrapped in all the bandages and whatnot. Even though later he had that cool fez in the movie.
Oh yeah.
And then you got a lot of people don't know this. You got the 1959 Mummy from Hammer Films. And that mummy looked like something you clean off the bottom of your grill or something. Really nothing cool about him. But then you have the Mummy, who was one time, as I said, a woman, who was part of that shitty Dark Universe flop that never happened. Great idea. Nice to be progressive, but the concept overall just didn't work. But the one that did work, and some people some people might say is probably the most successful version of the Mummy to date, is the 1999 Brendan Fraser dummy.
Freudian slip there.
Freudian slip right there, man.
They sought to unlock its treasure.
And then there was light.
This was pitched as many things before we got to this Brendan Fraser Mummy, which is directed by Stephen Sommers. This was pitched one time as a zombie movie. It was pitched as a love story. It was pitched as a Terminator type film at one time because the Mummy was unstoppable, going after people.
That was always his thing.
Yeah, but they wanted to make him like really, more aggressive instead of walking all slow, damn band-aids hanging off of him and everything. And but Stephen Sommers came in and said, I have a very unique approach to this. Let's take what is a classic horror film from Universal, keep some elements of that, but make it a period piece adventure film. More Indiana Jones and less Universal monster movie. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to explore why this approach works so well and why it spawned several sequels and why people still go back to that and say, hey man, that's my Mummy right there. That's my movie. That's one that has a very special place in my heart. And for a certain generation, that Mummy raised them. They grew up on that. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what this is about, this is you've seen it, but just to recap, this is about some explorers hoping to find the ancient treasures of a 3,000-year-old dead mummy who went out hard, went out bad.
Brought on himself, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't really blame him. But it's a librarian and her brother, and they hire the help of this roguish but sometimes bumbling adventurer who all of them later release a curse that resurrects Imhotep, or Imhotep, or whatever.
Yeah, Imhotep.
Imhotep, who happens to he wants to bring back his bride and live with her throughout eternity. And that's very romantic. And people are like, why don't you let him have that? And he's like, oh yeah, and I want to rule the world for eternal darkness too. And be like, well, we can't have that.
Man, if you could have just stopped at one thing.
Yeah. Nah. You could have had it. Could have had, your piece of ass for eternity. But no.
You had to get greedy.
You had to have ambitions. And you know what? To start this off, this whole thing about him being cursed, like I said, he went out pretty hard, man. He was, Imhotep was buried alive and buried with parasites just so they could teach him a lesson. But that came with a certain caveat, with a certain asterisk, some fine print right there.
The Magi would never allow him to be released, for he would arise a walking disease, and the glory of invincibility.
Why would you ever do that?
Yeah, I know. Right?
Why would you just kill him instead of risking the dude coming back?
We'll show you.
Yeah, your punishment is possibly coming back and being immortal
and invincible.
and invincible and having pretty much superpowers. Okay, sure. That never made any sense to me, but hey, I guess it makes for a cool movie. Because with this, getting into why, and I don't know if you saw the movie today or not. The last time you've seen it.
I saw it last week, so it was just already fresh in my memory.
Oh,
bank.
nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You just happen to watch it?
Yeah, Carol loves the movie.
Oh, okay.
It's like a cult classic for so many people my age.
Yeah. I know it's such a generational thing. At least I think.
Yeah, no, it is.
Because for me, I was kind of like, eh.
Yeah, it's very much.
But everybody I know in your age bracket loves this movie.
Yeah,
they'll share memes about wanting to date Brendan Fraser from this movie. And
Yeah,
everything. Like they love this movie a lot.
Yeah, no, this movie has a whole generation that is just dedicated to this film. Man, they love this movie, and that's what I'm trying to explore today. Because I remember seeing it and I liked it. I didn't love it like a lot of kids growing up, but that's I want to look at why that generation and generations after it still really love this movie. And I'm looking at it and I think, for one, and you probably have seen it more than I have, and if y'all got any ideas, please interject. But I think to start off, I think because of this being more adventure over horror, I think it allows for the movie to be not just fun, but goofy fun.
Goofy fun, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, they took a movie where it was initially a horror movie. You want to make it not just an adventure, but you want to make it goofy as hell too. And
matter of fact, they went out of their way to take the gore and scariness out of it.
Oh yeah, man. And that is seen with the cast, and I think that's where this is working initially.
Well, I don't think horror was hitting that. To a degree, like there was no good scary movie that you would put as a staple for that area. Everything was meta, like Scream. Isn't this like around the time that we also got when?
Well, it was '99, so you got The Matrix, right? And,
no, you got all the great movies came that year,
and this is considered to be one of them. And this hit a certain niche because while things, I think you hit a certain point, man. Things were kind of dark. I had The Matrix, which was cool, but that also had like a dark thing, dark theme going on. And at the same year, we got like Fight Club stuff.
Yeah.
This was just a fun, goofy movie. You talk about escape. That's what this was, man. And you can see that with the cast because no one was taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Because that's what the script called for, and everyone is silly as hell, and they and they're loving it. The movie cast good-looking leads. Yeah. That's one thing that's a key here. They cast beautiful leads. Brendan Fraser was incredibly handsome at the time. Rachel Weisz, beautiful. But they had a certain they could do comedy. They had comedy timing down. They had
Brendan Fraser was just fresh off George of the Jungle.
He did Encino Man, so he was cool with comedy, man. he plays Rick O'Connell, the handsome adventurer. And he was muscular, he was tall, extremely handsome, but also very funny. And he, like you say, he already done comedy. And he's someone who could handle humor while also being taken seriously as an action hero. Because sometimes he could do both that in the same scene. They would put action and humor into the same stunts, same scenes, same actions scenarios, and it worked. Doing two guns was cool.
Yeah, they were making that his signature.
Yep, they sure were. And also, he could not, Brendan Fraser's a very talented guy. He could be the butt of a joke. He could be a klutz. He could be dim-witted. He could be also very very handsome, very striking. He could be like a leading man type. Mm-hmm. He could also be the straight man in some scenes. Especially when he was around people who just ain't shit. Dude, Beni.
Beni, yeah.
I love Beni.
I love Beni too, man. We're gonna talk about Beni a little bit, but boy, Beni, as funny as Brendan Fraser was, Brendan Fraser had to stop and be like, "Are you kidding me?"
You're with me on this one, right?
Oh, your strength gives me strength.
See? Like, are you fucking really?
I like that he shook his head for like, nah.
He's like, boy, you ain't shit. We'll talk about Beni later, man. Even Rachel Weisz, when she's in this, man, she's the librarian. Evelyn Carnahan is her name, and she's introduced. Her first scene is introduced with slapstick. Right down to the whoa, she's balancing herself on ladders. I mean, classic slapstick.
The music.
Yeah, the music. They got that old goofy flute playing. You know her boss will come in and beat her ass. You go out. How you knock over 20 shelves?
You know what? It's funny because I was reading how they had to get that in one take because it was like, we're not setting this back up again. But it seems so like, oh, it's in a movie. But I've seen Reddit videos of industrial accidents that went just like that.
Yeah. Usually there's people laying under that rubble after it's done. Even her brother, John, who's played by John Hannah, when they first introduced him, even he's around.
You've no respect for the dead.
Like, no, I just don't respect you. So all of these characters are setting up. The movie realizes what it is. And even the characters, their setup, their introductions are set up in a humorous way. Mm-hmm. And I think that has a lot to do with why this movie works, man. It's a movie that provides, in addition to a lot of action, a lot of thrills, some scares, it provides laughs.
Yeah. Constant laughs, action and adventure.
Yeah. And it's not just laughs. I mean, for the people who grew up on this, those characters really are endearing. You make somebody laugh, it really does make you closer to those characters. Also, I think even though it's not taking itself seriously, it's not taking the characters seriously. I mean, none of this stuff, you could just tell like they're not even worried about realism or anything. But they do take seriously the thing that they're paying homage to, and that's the old-fashioned adventure serials. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Shows, not serials. Y'all think I'm talking about Yummy Mummy and shit. The desert cinematography, the movie, this one got made because the budget was right. Because a lot of stuff got turned down because they're like, nah, that costs too much.
Sure.
So what they did here with the budget is actually pretty impressive because the desert cinematography is great. Now, I did like the opening battle. Mm-hmm. I think the opening battle, I mean, if you really, really look at it, you see that, they're shooting not like CinemaScope or anything like that, 70 millimeter. But it does have a sense of scope to it, even though they're not shooting that wide. It does feel a little bit epic. They always got that one dude they make look stupid. sounds stupid. It has those moments of adventure with the battles, the Indiana Jones moments in here, which this is also paying homage to in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over and over and over.
Over and over, yeah. But they realized that. Their pitch was, we want to make an Indiana Jones style movie.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of scenes where your boy, Rick O'Connor, he does turn into Indiana Jones. The narrow escapes with him and his sidekick and everything in a temple or a chamber or something. So I mean, look, everything is the expression is wearing it on his sleeve, and it very much is so proudly. No shame at all in it. So I think that's one of the reasons why that really works, man. I think the adventure aspect of it was something that no one really thought about at first, and combining that, because I mean it takes place in the 20s in Egypt. I think didn't the original do that? No, it was brought up to like the jazz era, I think.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know. But I don't. Did you recently watch this?
I watched like about 2/3 of it today.
Yeah. So why are you laughing?
Because I do think the conclusion would probably be the weakest part, because the setup is awesome, the thing, but once he gets all 3 jars, you're like, all right.
Yeah. You saw some. You man, listen. You sit up here like kind of roll your eyes right now. The ending, you would have came here like, man, why you make me watch that shit? I'm glad you did not watch the third act. You know I had shit to do. Also I would think that even though it's an adventure, I think one of the big reasons why it has appealed to a lot of kids is because, yes, there's that funny, silly adventure part, but man, it's kind of a good gateway to horror for kids. It's an adventure movie, but it has some horror light in there, and
Yeah.
Because it's like they have...
It has Goosebumps type effects, like you turn to someone and they're mummified.
Yeah. But, listen, it was kind of also gore light. Because as long as you don't show blood, you can kill as many people in as many horrific ways that you want to. And they did that, man. Some of these are disturbing, like, people being eaten alive by these beetles, these man-eating beetles or scarabs in here. I like the way they just ate and ran. On to the next.
Yeah, never noticed he died with a goofy laugh.
It tickled, man. I never noticed that. Stop! That fool's still laughing. Look at it. Quit it, y'all. Yeah. Quit it. That's as long as there's no blood, you still saw a man have his half-eaten corpse down there. There were some dudes in here they mentioned that were melted, like when they're looking for one of the I guess the coffins for the actual mummy. They got it booby-trapped with acid. These people turn around, their faces practically melting. As long as you're not showing blood, you can get away with a lot of things. And this movie, again, it's considered to be a family film.
Right. They kept their PG rating.
Yeah, but this, man, look at these horrific things they're doing these people here.
Yeah, but they're brown people with no names.
Exactly.
So it's okay.
I was about to say, you didn't even mention the 5th part of the crew, the Egyptian guy.
I'm gonna mention him in a minute.
All right.
Because I'm gonna get some stereotypes. Because that's one of the things.
Boy.
There's some things that did not age well.
Well, even Kevin O'Connor is Beni.
Okay. No. I tell you, they even have moments of body horror in here for kids, like when the scarabs crawl under your skin, which I don't know how that works, where they're eating you alive. I don't know. It's just, see, that's what I'm talking about. Some things were just there for the look, the horrific look, and so again, these are horrible ways to die. These are some really weird images, but for kids, it's like, okay, all right, cool. Oh, man! He's saying help me. Meanwhile, he ran off from everybody because he's brown and he's and brown people in this movie ain't shit either. All of them are backstabbers. All of them are cowards. Yeah. Now, if you were an adult, you're looking at it like, okay, whatever. But as a kid, this is the kind of stuff you went to school and talked to your friends about.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff you put on because it was a little scary for kids, but it wasn't too scary to where it made you not want to watch. It was fun. They still managed to make it kind of fun. So, and also it was a creature feature. They did not forget that that it does have horror roots. The Mummy is a horror monster, and he was a monster in here before Imhotep. After he was mummified and starts coming back, before he gets his human form. He's a creature. Who played him, by the way?
Arnold Vosloo.
That's right. He looks like Billy Zane's uncle or something.
Yeah. I always thought it was Billy Zane. I spent a good 15 years thinking it was Billy Zane.
I think I did too. But
I think he's from South Africa. And,
really?
And he tells a story about how he's one of the people who hates Steven Seagal because he worked on a movie with him. It's like trying to fellowship with him, hey man, it's really cool, we're doing this and all. And he's like, that accent of yours, you'll never make it with that.
Wow.
And he was like, man, that guy.
And now he's the Mummy.
Yeah.
Which, as I said, starts out as an actual creature. So they kept the monster aspect of this. Oh, and the way they introduced him, he did horrible things to people, man. Again, this is some I don't know if was this PG-13 or was it PG?
I thought it was PG-13.
I think it's PG-13.
Yeah, probably have to be with all this.
Yeah, because when they introduce him, he's done something horrible to some guy. He's ripped some guy's eyes out and bit off his tongue so he could start forming himself again to be human.
My eyes!
You damn right.
Come here, girl.
Yeah, it's PG-13. Yeah, shit, they probably even tell them, pop it out. Oh yeah, Brenda's gonna come out and he'll be fine. And then that damn creature came out. The whole story of the way he dried people out, man. That was something else too. He
had all kinds of powers.
Yeah, he'd lift people up and turn them into damn beef jerky and throw them on the ground. Refreshing. And then meanwhile, while he's all moisturized and everything, ashy as hell.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and even the whole story of Imhotep, man, is gruesome. They rip out his tongue, and then like I said earlier, man, they bury him alive, but before they put the lid down, they put a whole bunch of man-eating bugs on him to eat him slowly. That's like the last guy. This ain't fun at all.
They don't eat people slowly. The other guy died in 5 seconds.
Well, one person described it as he was buried alive and they ate him slowly. So maybe some inconsistencies in there. Because Rachel Weisz is talking about when they find his mummy. They're like, they buried this chap alive. He was eating slowly throughout the decades. Some shit like that. But so they buried his ass alive, let him get eaten by bugs. But when you see that ass, it was worth it. Dude's like, yeah, I let bugs eat me for that shit. So,
even the eunuchs are like, ooh.
Yeah.
Swing.
I got a little tickle down there. I'm still amazed that this works too because it holds up, man. For the people that love it, but it does go all over the place. That's the thing about it. It's starting to do a lot of things, and somehow still maintain its themes. It's the bigger tone. Because I wonder if some of the stuff that's left from some of the other pitches for this were left over for this. Because George Romero came in, and of course, George Romero is the guy, the godfather of zombies. Night of the Living Dead, and he had his pitch as a zombie movie.
Is that the one that Clive Barker was writing?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and he wanted to do a zombie film. They turned it down, but there is a part of this movie where it turns into a zombie flick. That ass. And after it's turned into a zombie movie, by the end it gets so goofy. Like after all this horror and all the adventure and everything else that they were, the homage to the adventure genre and serials out there, it just pretty much just embraces the goofiness at the end. It just goes wild because they start doing cartoon antics. Now this is the part that I'm glad you did not see, but you are about to see.
Yeah, The Rock shows up.
Yeah. At the end, a lot of the other zombified dudes, his like henchmen, they start coming to life too. A lot of them holding their stomachs like they gotta take a shit or something. But they start walking towards him, and he starts fighting them. And then he started when he hits them, they start turning into cartoon characters, complete with even cartoon type sound effects.
Okay.
Oh, Martin, that ain't it. That's not all. But wait, there's more. So
was this in 3D?
No.
So it's a movie where it goes to a lot of places. Somehow it still works because I guess when you set your tone up at the beginning where you're not taking things too seriously,
sure,
you get away with a lot of things too. Some things didn't age well, as we said. Some things could be looked at. Nothing too serious here, but I guess today they would be looked at as kind of creepy, maybe even kind of sexual assaulty.
You want to know?
Well, yes.
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
Now you think that's what she would say? Nah, it's like that's back in the day where you got sexually assaulted and you liked it.
By the way, why did you kiss me?
No, I was about to.
I'm an asshole. That's why.
Well, I do like his answer. He's like, I thought I was about to die.
Yeah,
reaching out for the last good thing I could get.
Exactly.
No, I was about to be hanged. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
What?
So it meant nothing to you?
Nope.
No, but that's okay because he's handsome.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Elijah should try this.
No.
In 1923.
Even not yet.
No.
Because Elijah's handsome and Elijah's black. No, hell, they're about to get this boy shot.
Okay, got it.
Right.
Well, he's already about to be hanged. So.
Well, we about to have a lynch ready. Get your black hands off me! No! Boy, stereotypes, man. That's the thing about these stereotypes. Even in 1999, believe it or not, again, this was not a time of great diversity. We were about to enter into this.
When the millennium came.
Yeah. Now you had people like Will Smith who was out there doing his thing, but still there were a lot of roles for black and brown. Still kind of being background and being unsavory characters like there is. That was it for a lot of brown people here. I mean, stereotypes of these people so bad. Not only were you a backstabber, a criminal, a coward, you stink.
Yeah, you're greedy.
Yeah, they actually had one.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, actually had one character say, "Where that stinky son of a bitch at?"
Hey, where'd our smelly little friend get to?
Of course, he's doing something shady.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to find him, just look for the smell because apparently he stinks.
Follow the stink lines.
Yeah, yeah, they stink and they're there to die horribly or in some cases stupidly. And that's that. You might as well, man, as goofy as movie is, you might as well just put it. Damn mummies going around his head. And boy, your boy Beni, man. You want to talk about cowardly? Benny took.
Are you playing the scene with all the relics? I guess all the relics. And
I got some other stuff because Benny was the most sniveling.
That was one of my favorite things about the process of elimination. Like,
when he showed that was actually kind of funny. I might show that, but I just wanted to show how they did him dirty. Not even do it. First of all, this could be considered offensive because it's a white man in brown face. A guy named Jackal or what's his name?
Kevin O'Connor.
Kevin O'Connell. Yeah, he's
O'Connor.
Kevin O'Connor. That's his name. Yeah. Kevin J. O'Connor. Yeah, Kevin J. O'Connor.
Kevin J. O'Connor.
Yeah, and man, look, that's a white dude in brown face. You couldn't tell by, hey, O'Connor, right there. But brown people be like, man, you can keep that, because he's just it ain't just one thing to be cowardly, but just a sniveling, whimpering coward through this whole thing. Like he's the kind of coward, like when every time there's just the slightest hint of danger, he's like, oh, oh, oh! He's running out the room with his hands up.
It's the curse. It's a curse. Beware of the curse! Beware!
I'm like, what the hell is wrong with him?
And they were like, anyway.
He's opening a box of greeting cards. What's wrong with this dude, man?
Yeah, man. All the Americans and Brits are all adventurous and brave and ready to take on danger.
Yeah, all the white dudes are rugged adventurers and whatnot. Meanwhile, the brown people, stinking. Yes, I can show you where the grounds are. Yes, for the price. Yes. Like one dude even said, he actually told her, he's like, okay, you gonna pay me? He was talking to Rachel Weisz. You gonna pay me? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, what else? And put his hands on her knee, and he's like, I'm a lonely man, like horny. But Benny is so cowardly. You know how you have some cowards who they get so scared that if there's a window, they immediately run for the window and jump out the window, no matter what store it's on.
Sure,
that's Benny. I love that sucker. And always screaming.
Yeah.
Always screaming. There's times that even Rick, Brendan Fraser's character, gets sick of him. There's a part where he got so tired of him, he just said, come here, and threw his ass overboard.
Yeah. Goodbye, Benny.
And screaming the whole time. I did love, though, when Benny at one time, he tried to do that screaming, running away shit, and Rick O'Connell like, oh, hell no, you don't. He picked up a chair and nailed his ass. He was like Captain America with that chair.
He was headed for the window again.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah, it's like whenever Benny enters a room, first thing he does is clock with the window.
Yeah. He went straight for that window. You were right, man. One of the effects, I don't know, I mean, it might be dated, but it's still considered to be, for people who love this movie, it's an iconic image, that whole face in the sand thing. That happened, which just like an old man in his hand. But man, it's I can see where this is a lot of fun for people, man.
Yeah.
Didn't the MTV Movie Awards make fun of it? Like it was just like him like playing with the sand and shit.
I would not be surprised, man. Not be surprised at all. But yeah, man, it concentrated on making a fun adventure and knew what it was instead of trying too hard, as you saw with 2017. Now, if you think this movie's silly, you have one that missed the whole point. They were trying, 2017's Mummy, while progressive in having a female mummy, it was trying too hard to just set up a franchise.
Yeah.
Instead of concentrating on being a fun film. That's the thing about the Mummy, man. The Mummies just said, when they made this, they said, we know that we're making a a blockbuster, and yes, Hollywood is going to want more sequels if this is successful. But at that moment, they were just trying to create something fun. They're just trying to make a self-contained goofy little silly adventure film that would entertain people, give you some laughs, and that's why it succeeds with the audiences out there. That's why I spawned 2 sequels of varying quality. But
well, yeah, I was reading that the first day of premiere, they called him up and said, "Okay, we want another one of these."
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like this movie?
I like it. I've never seen 3 though. Like on that note of sequels, never seen them go to China.
Okay. I was trying to think which one had the Yetis. Yeah, you think with the Yetis, although they did the same thing in one of the Uncharted games.
yeah, no, that's right. They did do that. Yeah, 3 is not that good, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it wasn't that good, but the Yeti sequence I thought was cool.
Yeah, but
I would have to rewatch 2, but I think it's carried by the goodwill from the first one.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is
because The Rock looks terrible in that.
That Scorpion King, jeez.
Man, that's been a long time since I've seen it.
It's almost like, all right, I was just kind of rolling with you until you get there, and that's a huge like hit the brakes, the record scratches.
The Scorpion King monster literally does the Rock's people's elbow like in the middle of the fight.
Yeah.
Is it Mummy 2 that happened in?
Yeah.
Hey, what is that?
Jesus. Somebody's controlling that with a controller right now. Boy, that looks like some claymation right there, man.
It would look better as a claymation.
Look at that.
I know, the barely an expression on his face.
Man, that looked like something out of Mortal Kombat, the video game.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, that was terrible, man. Jesus Christ, that whole thing looked bad. I thought it was
like you don't remember how bad it
looked. No, I did not remember how bad that was, man. That looks like an action figure.
Yeah, it does.
Someone in the chat was like, Maui looks different.
Yeah, better. She looked like something out of Toy Story 1. Looked like something Sid created. Yeah, he took a action figure of the Rock and put on a Scorpion toy body. God damn. Oh, man. Well, again, another reason why the original Mummy is so much better. So there you go. I get why people like that movie a lot. And, like I said, I liked it. I didn't love it when I saw it, but I liked it. I was like, this is something different. I admired that, and I see why you guys do too. So anyway, that is that. We can move on to. Wish I could find that scene you talking about. That scene was funny with Beni with the. They did have some.
He speaks the language of the slaves.
That's right. Yeah, it was different necklaces. It was like the Star of David. Yeah.
See if I can find that. That is a very funny scene. Now you just being racist, just talking gibberish. Shit on himself. Of course, show his greedy ass gold. Yes, sir, boss. Well, would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it. And check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.